Section 6, B to D of the Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Act 2000 vests on the Commission the power to instruct and advise any ministry, department, agency, or any other public body on its corruption-prone processes and to supervise a review of such processes. This is the main pillar upon which the preventive function of the Commission rests. Today, on this edition, we shall focus on the aspect of the Commission's mandate referred to as system study and review, because you know what they say, prevention is better than cure. I am Murna Barnabas Atiahi. You're welcome to Corruption Must Go, ICPC's weekly television program. First, Ruth Awadi is standing by to bring you updates on happenings around the world of the Commission. Over to you, Ruth.
Thank you for joining us. I am Ruth Awodi with AntiCorruption Stories. The Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja has sentenced one Mr. Ape Samuel Akogo, a former civil servant who worked in the Accounts Department of the Federal Ministry of Power, Works and Housing, to a 7-year jail term with an option of a fine. Ape was charged before Honorable Justice A.O. Ebong of the FCT High Court, Abuja, by ICPC on a 3-count charge for asking, receiving gratification, and conferment of unfair advantage on himself, contrary to Sections 10 and 19 of the Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Act 2000. ICPC prosecutor K.C. Pepra, while proving the charges against Ape, called 4 witnesses and tendered relevant documents. The convict, on the other hand, called only 1 witness and testified himself that the purpose of the payment of the gratification by the petitioner was in commiseration to him for the death of his uncle. Though ICPC prosecutor had argued that the defense put forward by Ape was an afterthought, the trial judge discharged and acquitted him based solely on the grounds that the demand and receipt of the corrupt gift were not done in the exercise of his official duties. Dissatisfied with the judgment of the trial court, ICPC approached the appeal court seeking to quash the judgment. Having listened to the argument from the 2 counsel, the appellate court unanimously overturned the decision of the trial court and sentenced the defendant to 7 years imprisonment with an option of a fine of 50,000 naira. The court also held that the convict makes restitution of the amount collected as gratification to the petitioner. In another development, ICPC and the Federal Ministry of Interior have pledged a strategic work alliance towards giving Nigeria a better and reputable image in the Committee of Nations. The chairman of ICPC, Dr. Musa Adamu Aliyu, SAN, and the Minister of Interior, Honorable Dr. Olubumi Tunji Ojo, made the pledge during a courtesy visit by the minister and the management team of his ministry to ICPC's headquarters. Dr. Aliyu likened the relationship between the Commission and the Federal Ministry of Interior to conjoined twins dependent on each other for the good of the Nigerian people. He stressed the importance of synergy between the 2 organizations, saying that both have key roles to play in quelling corruption in Nigeria.
I have been in discussion with the minister. We have discussed a lot about how can we partner to ensure that ICPC and Ministry of Interior and the agencies under Ministry of Interior work closely to ensure that we help this country in fighting this challenge of corruption. And the only way we can do that is by coming together like the gathering we are having today and also to sit down and carefully look at how can we work closely. Fortunately, ICPC has good working relationship with the Ministry of Interior and the agencies under the even for economy, because whenever we have issues which border on the agencies under the ministry, we used to reach out to see how we can be able to tackle those challenges so that Nigerians that have issues will have the confidence that whenever they bring any problem, ICPC and the Ministry of Interior are tackling the challenges to ensure that, yes, they have a solution of the problems brought before us.
In his remarks, Honorable Tunji Ojo congratulated Dr. Aliyu for his appointment as ICPC chairman, saying it was a development with the best interest of Nigerians at heart. He noted that it is a current global practice to adopt preventive measures rather than expending resources in prolonged pursuit of criminals that derive perverse pleasure in being pursued.
We believe that all over the world, the language is proactiveness. The language is prevention. The language is no more detection or correction. The world is moving, and it's moving so fast. And as product of the 20th and 21st century, we have to learn the language of the 22nd century. And the language of the next generation, which we must learn as a country, is to build strong institutions and not strong men. We believe that the strategic relationship between these two agencies can, of course, block a lot of loopholes, can prevent, and of course can deter even the imagination of ill doings. If we do not do that, we will continue to run after the criminal.
Dr. Tunji Ojo added that the Ministry of Interior would open her doors to ICPC for research and development of groundbreaking initiatives that will prefer practicable solutions to the problem of corruption in the country. That will be all on this segment. Corruption Must Go continues with Myrna. Stay with us.
If you're just tuning in, this is Corruption Must Go. Our focus is on ICPC system study and review. It should be noted that in the course of the Commission's system study exercises over time, there has been indications of systemic dysfunction, inadvertent breaches of regulations, ignorance of proper procedures, and sometimes willful violation of laid-down rules of doing business by public officials in government organizations. The head of System Study and Review Department, ICPC, Mr. Olusegun Adigun, tells us more on how well system study is helping to curb the occurrence of corruption in MDAs.
system study and review is one of the preventive tools designed by the Commission in order to check leakages in the system. And this is what the Commission has been doing over the past 2 decades. And it has been very, very effective. We have key performance indicator. We look at the structure of the organization. It's an holistic examination of an organization. Key 4 performance indicator. We look at the structure, system and processes, culture, and the last is stakeholders' perception, because we interact with people that carry out business with that particular organization to actually feed the pulse on the feeling about that particular organization. So it has been very, very effective. One of the organizations we visited is on issue of recruitment. We realized that a certain particular region has more than what they are expected to have as the number of people they're supposed to recruit, because the federal character principle has stated clearly that each state of the federation should have 2.75%, and federal capital, that's the 30 state of the federation, should have equal representation in an organization. That's 2.75% and 1% by the federal capital territory. But we got to we were in an organization where 60% of the workforce came from a particular region, which is a violation of the federal character principle. In our study, we came out with findings and recommendations, short, medium, and long terms. And after a while, we carry out a review. And the essence of the review is to ensure that all the recommendations are complied with. So very soon, we are still going back to all these organizations to carry out a review to ensure that all the recommendations are complied with.
Welcome back. You're still watching Corruption Must Go. In 2023, ICPC restrained through the negative warrant a total of 5.8 billion naira service-wide through its system study on personnel cost in MDAs. Do you know that this amount of money, according to the Nigerian Institute of Quantity Surveyors, is enough to construct a number of standard primary health centers, popularly known as dispensaries, across the Federation to enable rural dwellers access primary health care services? Or do you know that the same amount can sink a number of boreholes in some of the 8809 electoral wards in Nigeria to provide rural people with portable drinking water? This money could have found its way into the pockets of a few individuals, if not for the intervention of the Commission through its system study and review. Stay tuned while Adamu Baba Jibrin, ICPC's quantity surveyor, explains further.
The opportunity cost of losing 5.8 billion naira to corruption would mean losing the opportunities to have 23 units of 200-bed capacity rural hospitals at 250,000 per bed space. So if you prorate that figure across, it will give you an average of 50 million naira per piece, on the average between 50 and 100 million naira a piece. So you're looking at an area region of about 23 units. Similarly, in the areas of education, you would have lost the opportunity of having 145 units of one block of 3 rows of classrooms, averaging 150,000 naira per student seat. So, you can imagine the humongous loss to social amenities and generally to the people and citizens of the country. If you come to potable water, for boreholes, an average of about 3 million to 5 million naira a piece, you probably are looking at an average of 1,160 boreholes that will have been sunk. Potable water that will have taken, improved and taken the country out of this poor standardization, we have been rated. So you can imagine the humongous opportunity that has been lost. So this is the reason why every Nigerian must understand the implication of corruption and why we must all come on board to fight it to a standstill.
You're still watching Corruption Must Go. Our Corruption Must Go crew visited the National Directorate of Employment and the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Council, where the system study and review exercise were conducted to pick 1 or 2 lessons. Let's hear from them.
When we got that letter, I went through it and I saw system study to understudy the workings of our system. And so I didn't, it was not an investigation, so I was not agitated because I know ICPC, they are a government agency and they will add value for the betterment of the society and the directorate. So when they came, in fact, they brought a letter since October. We were expecting them, they didn't come until the second letter. When they came, we were already ready for them. We provided all that they needed, and as the process was going on, we also invited all the directors, all the head of units and branches, so they had interaction with them, and they were very satisfied that they were able to undergo the system study, and also they requested to see some of our projects and sites, and from the feedback we had, like our corporate headquarters, they were highly delighted to see the level of work and the materials on ground for the completion of the headquarters. So it was not, they are professionals, so it's not as if we'll be afraid, hide. There's nothing to hide. There's really nothing to hide. Just like I told you, your officers are highly professional, and they added value. In the course of the system study, they will say how we wish it could be done this way in some areas. And if other MDS will take that, there won't be any problem, because corruption that we want to fight, everybody has to get involved. For the betterment of the society, we need to crush it so that everyone will be happy. And really, there's nothing to hide. Whatever you hide is like a wound. Definitely one day it will be exposed. So it's better you expose it and get healing now. That's how I see it.
It's good to have a system check, because that's the only way you know if you're doing the right thing or not. And where there is any issue, you can make amends. And the good thing about it is it's non-punitive. That means that it's just a matter of making the systems better. And that's what we also do. We go to supermarkets, we find them doing a lot of things wrong, but we tell them that no, we are not here to punish you. We are only here to make things better. Let it be the way the law says it should be. So when he came, I was very happy that yes, there's somebody here that's also to tell us how to do our job. We do oversight, so it's good to have somebody that also oversighting. You don't have to do anything wrong before an organization such as yours and ours would come and find out how you run your systems. It's something that's good, and I believe that it's in line with Mr. President's agenda, that all systems alert. Let us make sure that the Nigeria we knew before is a thing of the past. Let us make sure that we do things right. Let us make sure that we achieve. Let us have deliverables, KPIs, so that people would know that yes, you're in an office and you are here to do something and to achieve your mandate. So allow ICPC to do their work and allow them to come into your systems, open up, show them. All they do is to ensure that you do the right thing. That is the message that I want to give to the other that you are going to. The other that you have already been to, please feel free to discuss whatever anomalies they are found in your system, because all ICPC is after is to find out if you have anything wrong, and then they will correct you. And if you are doing right, they give you a thumbs up. I'm sure I got the thumbs up. So also make sure you collect your own. Thank you.
I am a Nigerian, a highly cultured race. My culture abhors corruption, and with my integrity, a new Nigeria is possible. I say no to corruption today to build a future for my children. Join me and imbibe the culture of integrity to build a Nigeria of our dreams.
It is obvious that the importance of system study and review as an effective corruption prevention strategy in the public service cannot be overemphasized. It serves to complement the other two important duties of the Commission, namely prosecution and public enlightenment, as well as education. That's our package on today's edition. Remember, you can make inquiries and suggestions via our toll-free numbers as shown on the screen. You can also watch the program on our YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/ICPC Nigeria. Thank you for watching. I am Murna Barnabas Atiai. Bye for now.